As Joe Louis began aging in his 50s, he began experiencing health issues as a result of a cocaine addiction. He was reported to have developed the neurodegenerative disease chronic traumatic encephalopathy, also known as CTE, pugilistic Parkinson's syndrome, or punch-drunk syndrome, during his retirement. Louis was also reported to suffer from strokes in the years leading up to his death. On May 1, 1970, Louis was admitted to a psychiatric hospital in Colorado after being recommended by his physician. Louis was reportedly suffering pneumonia, drug dependency, and a host of mental and emotional problems. He subsequently spent further time in Veterans Administration Hospital in Denver, Colorado. He was discharged from hospital supervision after spending 5 months in the 2 separate facilities. On October 28, 1977, Louis was transported on a flight to Methodist Hospital in Houston, Texas, from Las Vegas, Nevada, after suffering an aortic aneurysm. He underwent successful surgery performed by notable cardiac surgeon, Michael DeBakey, to replace the affected portion of his heart. Though the surgery was a success, it confined Louis to using a wheelchair for the rest of his life. On December 14, 1980, Joe Louis checked into Methodist Hospital for what was initially a routine checkup, being scheduled later that month for surgery to receive a pacemaker for his heart. This information was publicly announced on December 24, 1980. Joe Louis's last public appearance was made on the night of April 11, 1981, in which he attended a heavyweight World Boxing Council Championship bout between Larry Holmes and Trevor Berbick at the Caesars Palace Hotel in Las Vegas. At around 9 a.m. on the morning of April 12, 1981, Joe Louis had suffered a heart attack and collapsed in the bathroom of his Las Vegas home. Resuscitation was attempted by his personal therapist, Noel Larimer, and paramedics on the scene, but these attempts were unsuccessful. Joe Louis reportedly entered cardiac arrest before reaching the hospital. Louis was transported to Desert Springs Hospital Medical Center, where he was declared dead at 10:05 a.m. Joe Louis was 66 years old. His wife, Martha Jefferson, was by his side in the hospital when he died. Harry Wald, president of Caesars Palace, expressed shock to the death of Louis, stating, "We're very shocked at what happened. He was at the fight last night. He was really enjoying himself, and his pacemaker was working very well. He was looking forward to attending the Diana Ross show tomorrow night at the hotel, and then this morning, he just collapsed. It's very sad." Fellow heavyweight boxer Muhammad Ali had stated in reaction to Louis's death, "I wish people like Joe Louis and people I love didn't die before me." After his death, Louis's body was laid in state at Caesars Palace on April 14, 1981. A memorial service was held for Louis in the sports pavilion behind Caesars Palace on April 17, 1981. It was attended by about 2,500 patrons. Notable patrons included Muhammad Ali, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, Jesse Jackson, Larry Holmes, and Don King. Jesse Jackson had delivered the eulogy for Louis, and Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes served as pallbearers. The following day, after the service, Louis's body in a gold casket was flown to Washington, D.C. from Las Vegas. His casket was laid to rest in state again for 2 days at 19th Street Baptist Church in Washington, D.C., in preparation for his burial at Arlington National Cemetery. On the afternoon of April 21, 1981, Joe Louis was given a hero's burial and interred at Section 7A, Grave 177 in Arlington National Cemetery. His son, Joe Louis Barrow Jr., spoke at his burial. He was quoted during his speech, stating, "It's wonderful that we're here at the National Cemetery, where you will finally rest, because you were a patriot, you served the country well. You provided it with the guidance and the faith it needed at a time when the country was down and the people needed a lift." A U.S. Army firing squad had fired 3 clusters of shots into the air in the salute of Louis for his military contributions during World War II. In 1982, Louis was posthumously awarded a Congressional Gold Medal. Later, in 1990, Joe Louis was posthumously elected to the International Boxing Hall of Fame.